Welcome back to a brand new special episode of Charm CDB. It is Super Bowl week, and we are actually revisiting two games that meant a lot to all us Ravens fans. Let's go. So without further ado, we will say let's go back in history, my friends. Let's go back to some good times. Specifically Super Bowl 47 and Super Bowl 35. Super Bowl 35, where the Baltimore Ravens beat the New York Giants 34-7 in Tampa Bay on January 28, 2001. And also, of course, we know Super Bowl 47, where they beat San Francisco 34-31 in New Orleans. So let's talk about it. Number one, 2001. How old were you?
I was young. It's too late to do the math right now. I was young, but I know we had the best defense in the league in history.
I was 11.
Really?
1-1.
Yeah, because you had just turned 11.
Yeah, earlier that month.
Yeah, because I remember, 2001, I was in 6th grade. I remember that was, the first year I think I ever actually started paying attention to football, too. And my friend Mike Carter in 6th grade, he was like, Ravens aren't going to do anything. And for some reason, I was talking shit back then as an 11-year-old. But I was like, nah, man, they're going to win. I bet you $5. Some crazy large bet that seemed, I was 11, dude. 11 only covers so much. So I put it on the line. Of course, I don't think I ever got the money, but whatever. But, again, we're going to talk about Super Bowl 35 first. And just best defense ever.
Yeah, I mean, you got 85 Bears, 2,000 Ravens. You can go head-to-head on them all you want, but I think by far, if it wasn't for a special teams touchdown by the Giants, it would have been a shot.
They would have had nothing, So. And you got to think, even in that year, the Giants, you could tell it's a change of the times. Giants were one of the best offenses in the league up until that game, where the Ravens defense just bitch slapped them.
Well, the Ravens went 4 games without scoring an offensive touchdown.
That's nuts.
You cannot have a defense that goes up to your team and say, just give us 3 points, we're good. Touchdown, a little better, but just over. Get us a couple field goals. We got this.
It's wild. Ray Lewis was named the MVP. We all know that. And, the iconic image of him holding the paper up. And I'm just like, oh, my God. I was actually watching, in preparation for this, rewatching one of the ESPN specials. And it was kind of crazy to watch it back. I'm like, man, I remember that. My dad barbecued, and I remember we were all excited. My sisters, I don't even know how old. Let's see, they would have been 7 or so. So they were really young. But I remember just being so excited. I don't remember
we went out and banged pots like it was New Year's.
Yeah, everybody went nuts.
I'm from Annapolis, so we were celebrating around some Redskins fans. Hey, we had every right. It was like New Year's Day. It was like New Year's Eve. It was crazy.
You got to think at the moment, at that time, the team was only 5 years old. We were a brand new team, and they, 5-year-old team winning the Super Bowl. You can't take that away from them. No. They didn't have a lot of time to build on that, but whatever they had, Trent Dilfer, Jesus Christ, the game manager from heaven, because he was out there. He was doing work.
And that started, I think, the Ray Lewis legacy, too.
Yes.
That he was already a great player, and that now he was already entering legend status, and he kind of cemented that with the Super Bowl MVP. Super Bowl MVP, and then even going out on top at the next Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, me personally, like I said, it was one of those ones, and you go far back enough, and it's geez, I was 11. That's almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I turned 30 this year, so that was a really...
Doesn't seem that long.
It doesn't. It's no. Hold on, there's no way in hell that was almost 2 decades ago. That's crazy. Kind of sucks when you really think about it, but it's it is what it is. But I do remember, more importantly, the one that was most recent when they played San Francisco. And I'm not going to lie. Ravens have had up and down offenses, but I honestly think the offense that was there that season, from about Joe Flacco's rookie year till about then, that was probably one of the best offenses we've had. Probably one of the best complete teams we've had.
Yeah.
You got to think, Ray Lewis got injured that year. Yeah. Nobody knew what was going to happen. It was on the shelf. And, there were a lot of supporting cast there. The help make up for the fact that he was probably still hurt in those games.
I mean,
you remember the mandible claw thing he had?
Robot arm.
Anquan Bolden.
Yeah.
I mean that was Flacco's security blanket along with Pitta and tight ends.
You have Ray Rice back there.
Ray Rice. But that defense in that Super Bowl was bend but don't break.
Yeah.
I mean we were up 28-6, and then maybe
the power outage happened.
Power goes out.
And it was kind of scary because the defense almost lost that game for us.
Yeah. But if you want to look at it the other way, they were the ones who sealed the deal for us too.
That's true. That's true.
I mean it. When they did that safety and Sam Cook's running around the back of the end zone, I'm like, and
at that point I thought it was one of the dumbest things ever. Like when they first said they were going to do it, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, why are we going to do it? It didn't make sense. You've ran the clock out to the point where game's over. They can't do anything.
Yeah.
What's 2 points?
It definitely was a tense. Mm-hmm. I think that was the start of the next several years as Ravens fans going down to the wire with these playoffs. I think that was that was one of the games where I'm like, can we just end it? Can it just be over? Can we celebrate? And what a way for Ray Lewis to go out.
Yeah, I mean, to go out on top, of course, Ed Reed, he went on to do other things, fade off into the distance or whatever. For like a year. I mean, he should have probably retired after him, but, nonetheless, Raven for life. But I remember that game more clearly. My wife, we went to her sister's house. Me and Mario, actually. Me and Mario were working at H.H. Gregg at the time, and we got off work. Yeah, dude, I'm talking. This is like, again, this is another game that's like almost like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
But I remember we went up there. He drove us up there, and I remember leaving. Most importantly, I remember watching him. And I was talking to my nephew, and I was like, dude, you should play football. And that's the different story for a different day. Now he plays, and I train him every summer. But I remember when we left, we were going home because me and him both lived in Anne Arundel County. And I said, dude, let's just drive through the city.
Yeah.
Let's just drive through the city. It was the most insane ever. Mario, I know you remember that. Dude hopped on his hood, rolled over his hood. It was nuts. Yeah. I mean, it was
bumper to bumper. It took us about 2 hours to get out of the city.
It was completely insane. I loved every minute of it. I'm sitting out the side of the car shouting and screaming, and it was just insanity. And it was like we as Ravens fans, Ravens have only been around 25 years or something like that. Not even 25. We've been spoiled as fans. Yeah. I think you got to think of teams that have never made it, and they've been around much longer. And I think that's also the problem with the fan base is we've been so spoiled, making it to the playoffs, making the Super Bowl 2 times within 20 years, which a lot of teams don't. I mean, look at the Redskins, look at the Cowboys. Yeah. They haven't done anything. Look at so many teams that never make it, yet we've done it in 20 years, and we're spoiled.
We're constantly in the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to be as a team.
Yeah.
You want to have a chance to be there at the end of the year, and year in and year out. I mean, give or take a few years here and there, but we've been there almost every year.
Yeah.
And I mean, this year it didn't work out, but we can honestly we can honestly say though, as Ravens fans, you have hope for the next year.
Yeah.
You don't think you're going to be a 5-11 or a 3-13.
Nope.
You know that you're probably going to be 9-7, 10-6, 11-5.
Mm-hmm.
You catch fire, even better. I mean, you just as a Ravens fan, you are spoiled. You get upset when they like the game you went to. They fall to a team that they probably should have beat, and at home. But next year they're going to be back in that situation. You hope it's different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think, like you say, you laid it all on. I mean, again, I think being a Ravens fan is one of the most. It's kind of like being on a shitty roller coaster at Six Flags. It's like the thrill is great, man. When it's great. But when you're stuck at the top and you're like, shit, are we gonna come down? Yeah, it sucks because that's how it feels a lot of seasons. Like, is this thing over yet? I mean, but again, like you said, we've been spoiled as a fan base, and I think that adds a lot to just what I perceive. Being on the internet all the time, we do the LitTube thing, and I'm always online with it, and I look at it as like, oh my god, they're bitching again. Oh my god, you can never make them happy. Well, when you have a fan base that's been to the playoffs as many times we have, that's always in the conversation, that has the potential we have, it makes sense.
Well, I'm gonna say this too. And there's a Steelers fan in the room that might not
want
to
hear this. There's two of them, actually. We won't mention them.
Okay. So, since the Ravens have been in existence, we have the same number of Super Bowls as the Steelers. I hear the Steelers are the class of the division, but I mean, you can't argue with facts.
You can't.
So, I mean, we've only been around, 20-some years.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know you guys have been around for 80 years, and you got your 6 rings. I get it.
Respect.
But
they did also lose one in there.
Well, yeah.
Yes,
but let's not forget that the Ravens have been around 20-some years, and they have the same number of championships. So I just wanted to throw that shot to my fellow Steelers in the room.
It's like I can see Jimmy off to the side of the camera, and I know he wants to say so much. Like, he wants to jump on the camera right now. And if he knew I wouldn't kick his ass, he probably would. Don't worry, I'm going to get tons of shit.
Calm down,
done filming.
We don't need that.
Yeah, we don't need that. But no, you're 100% right. Like I said, going into, we talked about 2 of the best Super Bowls I've ever watched, obviously. Let's talk about the future. So, as you know, Jordan Schatz, a regular on LitTube, a contributor. He actually attended Eric DeCosta press conference today. And he sent us a lot of information, and a lot of it's very promising. There was one subject, and we'll talk about it. It might not be cause for concern yet. But for starters, the team does want to build around Lamar Jackson. Yeah. And, them saying, of course they're going to say it, but it's comforting to me because it's like, all right, you know what? They understand that this is a process. They understand that it's not just, oh my God, you can't throw it. Oh my God. No, it's like, let's build on this. Let's get him comfortable in the pocket. Let's build an offensive line around him.
Let's not forget, he was not planning on doing that. He was not
at all.
He started.
I mean, I think
that.
I will say, and to play devil's advocate, I think now in the NFL, it's not like the old days where you have Aaron Rodgers, who is one of the best quarterbacks ever, that got to sit behind Brett Favre, and he knew his plays. Yeah. Now it's like they're picking kids in the first round, straight out of college. Sometimes these kids are juniors in college, and they're expecting them to go out there and play with grown-ass men. Yeah. And they expect them to adapt very fast. Not every quarterback, can adapt I mean, I don't think he did bad.
No, not at all. And I think we need to let's get to the offseason.
Yeah.
Let's get through the Super Bowl. Yep. Let him work with the receivers that he has. Let him practice with the coaches that he has. He's gonna get better.
They just brought in a new passing.
Yes.
New passing
coordinator. That's huge.
Yes.
They finally got rid of Morningwig.
Yes. Oh my God.
And with going with Greg Roman as the OC, it's going to be a run-based offense. You know they're going to beef off that offensive line. Let's just give it a chance.
Yeah.
Let's calm down. We don't want Lamar to run 20 times a game. We know that.
Mm-hmm. Another thing people are saying is people might want to come here because it's not a running team. Difference is I've heard John Harbaugh say, even DeCosta, people are going to want to come here because of Lamar.
Yes. It's exciting.
People are excited to play with this guy. Yes. In the offseason, I remember even before the season started, of course, nobody knew what he was going to do. They looked at his college number, they saw how good he passed in college. But, they were excited. The team was excited. When he came in, the team played better around him.
He has a real Michael Vick feel to him. Now, again, am I saying he's going to be on the level that Mike Vick was?
No.
Absolutely not.
But the potential is there.
Would I like it? Of course. Yeah. But let's let the process play out.
Yeah.
You gotta. He's here for what? 3-4 more years on his rookie
Let
deal?
him run the contract out.
Let's see what he does, because I guarantee you, if he wins a Super Bowl in those few years, we're going to be locking him up, and he's going to be ours for a long time.
But remember correctly, our Joe Flacco ran out his contract and ended with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so, I mean, the potential is there. I mean, my thing is, and this is something I've thought a lot about. Yes, he's in a rookie contract. Give him about 2-3 years. If you're not, obviously, if you're not ready by 2-3 years, you probably shouldn't be in it.
Yeah.
But my thing is, he didn't do bad. I mean, he won games for us how he could. You got to think, me and Russ were at that game, and I remember I watched him probably hit the ground or be on the run more times than I count, watching at home. What was he doing most of the time? Running for his life. Yeah. It wasn't a matter of, this is the play he's going with, let's break a run. No, it was a matter of like, oh my God, my left side of my line can't block for me. Let me get the fuck out of there.
All I remember is from watching the replay of that last fumble is seeing Orlando Brown chasing the linebacker into Lamar.
Yeah.
But
when your tackle is chasing your linebacker,
there's
a problem.
No.
Well, in Orlando Brown's defense, though, I mean, they were outmatched that game. It was clear.
They knew what they were doing.
But that young man is going to be a force, too, I believe. I think, again, if Yonda's coming back, Orlando Brown, Ronnie Stanley, he's a question mark for me.
Yeah.
But we need that left side shirt up. We need everything. Again, let's just get through the offseason.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're gonna have a couple more episodes, obviously. As Eric DeCosta did say, the new year football year starts in March.
Yes.
And we're going to have a ton of draft episodes. We're going to have a ton of episodes where we dig deep. I mean, we're not just going to go base level. Like, we're going to dig deep and see what happens. Yeah. But if I had to make a guess, we're going with probably an offensive tackle in the first round. Yeah. We're getting a big boy up front, first night. Second night, maybe a receiver.
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
A slot wide receiver if they're there.
Ironically, I read something that Lamar's former teammate is going to be in the draft, and he would love to reunite with Lamar.
Ooh,
and they're predicting him as a third-day wide receiver.
There you go.
Oh, that's going to be great. Make it happen.
A lot to look forward to.
Another thing also they talked about in the presser was C.J. Mosley being a top priority for the Ravens. This, of course, is a no-brainer. I mean, C.J. Mosley, I wouldn't say he's on the level of Ray Lewis, but he's damn close. He's a very, very good inside linebacker, and he's a leader on that defense. And with a team getting older, C.J. Mosley isn't one of those older guys that you're just going to send out the pasture. No, he's got few years. He's got another contract.
He's that veteran presence on the defense along with Weddle and Suggs. And I think, regardless, if they don't re-sign him long-term, I believe he will be tagged. No. I don't.
He's not playing anywhere.
Yeah, I don't.
He's not playing anywhere next year except for Baltimore.
Yeah, I don't think they let him go this year. Now again, if they can't reach a contract, next offseason, they might let him just go. But I'm thinking he's going to be a Raven next year.
But you also got to think about with Lamar Jackson, you have a quarterback who are usually our highest paid players on the team. Outside of maybe some offensive linemen.
This will be one of our first year with cap flexibility.
Exactly. Yes. So there is going to be money to give C.J. Mosley, hopefully next year. Once they figure out Joe Flacco, because that's a big concern. That's a lot of money still tied into Joe. And, of course, he said in the conference there was no timetable on Joe yet. It's still in the air. But from what I read, from what I heard, it sounds like he's going to be traded. When? I think it's so much a question of just when. It's a win.
Maybe around the draft. I mean, if you want to get if he's outright released, then that's one thing. But if we're looking for trades,
and maybe during the draft, maybe the team didn't get a quarterback
that's
they
true.
Wanted in the first round. They're like, let's just ride with Joe for next year, and then go
a transitional quarterback. I think we keep RG3 as a backup, and then I think also we maybe pick up a camp arm somewhere in the undrafted free agents. We get a camp arm that easy, and that's done. I think Joe, again, going back to our Super Bowl subject, we do owe Joe a great deal. I mean, Joe was the MVP of that Super Bowl. Yes. He led us there. And, again, were we happy about Joe Flacco the last 4 to 5 years? No. But we do owe Joe a great deal because he was – you got to think of who we had before him. Kyle Bowler. Let's be honest here, people. We had Kyle Bowler. And – even before then, Chris Redman, Elvis Grbac. We didn't have great quarterbacks in Baltimore before Joe. So I mean,
we did have Steve.
We did have Steve there
on the downside. Downside.
And he got us. I remember we got to play against the Colts. Yes. I think it was in the divisional championship game.
No touchdowns were scored.
Yeah,
somehow.
that was
a weird game.
I remember that being a cold game too.
McNair and Manning, no touchdowns.
Oh my God, how the hell that happened? No one will ever know.
I do want to throw out a name. Just thinking. Tyrod Taylor.
I've heard if we don't keep RG3, Tyrod.
I would be happy to have Tyrod back. I like Tyrod.
Yeah.
I believe he was with the coach that we hired from the Bills, who just got done coaching Josh Allen, another rookie quarterback.
Because I think Tyrod's time in Cleveland is done. We all know that. I mean, but no, Tyrod would be a great, I think, supporting member to. Lamar Jackson, I think.
If they don't want to go the RG3 route, it's still he's going to come in as a backup and maybe could again teach.
I think they could probably trade RG3 maybe and get him on somewhere.
I think Tyrod is a better thrower than RG3 as well. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting offseason.
Teach Lamar how to throw a little bit better. But I remember one thing that did concern me, and this is just from me, the point of view of a fan. This man was not mentioned once. I don't know what that means.
To be fair, I did also hear he wanted to focus on youth, which could possibly be Zadarius Smith.
And again, there's no sense in concern. Again, from a business point of view, from an analyst point of view, if you do get rid of Suggs for whatever reason, God forbid, you have Zadarius Smith and Judon.
Yeah. I've also heard they want to start thinking Judon up now.
Oh yeah.
Try to get Judon locked up.
Why not? Now. Why not?
Oh,
both of them are beasts, but Judon's definitely the better of the two. Why not?
I want to see Suggs go out as a Raven.
I want to see him go out in purple and black, man.
But I mean.
He's going to pull a Ed Reed, and I'm so scared of that.
I'll go one further, and I'm afraid he's gonna go to the Patriots. I just
shut the hell up. There's no way in hell.
I see him just wanting that one more ring. He doesn't want to.
For the record, we don't drug test here at Lit 2 because this man will clearly fail.
I'm just saying,
he hates Brady.
In 6 months from now, if we are talking about.
He's going to pull a James Harrison?
I'm just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
If James Harrison didn't get that ring either, so.
If he goes to the Patriots, I want all the credit in the world, okay? You heard it here first. All right. That's all I'm saying.
We're locking it up. So.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
If he my God, I'd be astonished. I wouldn't burn my jersey because his jersey is nice as hell.
I think it's retire Ravens. Or it's a team like the Patriots. I don't think there's any wiggle room. He's not going to go to a non-contender. He's going to go to a winner. And it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, just like I said, it's surprised he wasn't mentioned. If you notice, his snaps were quite limited.
Yeah. They were. Yeah. I remember we were at the game.
More as a leader.
I remember, watching those last few games, especially being at one of them. I don't remember hearing his name a lot. I don't even really remember seeing him on the field a lot. So you make a great point. And again, like I said, with Judon out there, I mean, jeez.
Yeah, we'll see.
Why not? We'll see. But
start to March.
Yeah.
It's been nice to go back in time and talk about the Ravens and then talk about their future. So we will go to across the street to Camden Yards. How was FanFest, brother? This man went to FanFest for us all. Just give it to us straight, bro.
It's kind of depressing. But I will say, with Mike Elias there, and some of these young players, hope springs eternal, and I mean, spring training's a couple weeks away. You never know.
As long as we know what it's going to be like. Don't go in expecting it.
That's the thing. I think the Orioles fans everywhere, wherever you're watching, don't have any expectations.
No. Expect the worst and hope for the best.
Expect the worst, hope for the best. Don't even hope. Just expect the worst.
They come out and lose their first 12 games. Don't start bashing and say Mike Wells was a horrible choice. The manager was a horrible choice.
This is a process.
Well, Brandon Hyde, he's saying all the right things. Hustle and it's just it makes me feel good. I did pass Chris Davis. I will say I told these gentlemen all here in the room. He looks like he's determined. He looked good and ready to go.
Is he still on Adderall? Like he's got
claims to take it now? He was walking real fast. He looked concentrated, so I didn't want to get in his way.
So for what it means, he did say he has visited his coaches this offseason. He hasn't visited in a few years, so
yeah. I mean, I think.
I mean, if we get to Chris Davis a pass, who can knock balls out of the park every game, let's do it.
There was a question to Mike Elias about Adam Jones. And the door's open. I mean, if Adam is willing to come to the table and talk and wants to end his career in Baltimore, I think it's a possibility. Even if they get him on a 1-year flyer.
I think for a rebuilding team, having a veteran leader like Adam Jones, you already saw he was willing to step aside for Chris Mullins last season. He was going to play right field.
Yeah.
He didn't want to leave in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
To go to a contender.
Yeah. He stuck it out, and I will say they were interviewing Trey Mancini the other day, and he said, I've gone from a rookie to a veteran in 2 years. so he's essentially the veteran.
He's the veteran leadership right now.
I mean, but the future is bright. It's going to be a tough year. It may be even a tough 2 years, but I honestly think we are on the right track right now. We have a vision and a plan that we haven't had for probably 20 years.
Yeah.
So we're going back to basics. So it can be an exciting time.
Angelos says stay back and let the people they hire to do baseball.
Their sons. Peter Angelos is in his 80s now, so his sons are really young.
Right.
But I don't wish failing health on anyone, but age is catching up with him, and he's letting his sons run the show.
Hire baseball people. Let them do baseball stuff.
Yes. Yep. So. We'll see.
So, yeah. It's an exciting time. And like I said, we got continued coverage on that.
Yeah.
Spring camp starts soon.
Yes.
Very, very soon. I'm excited. You're going to probably be going down there, aren't you?
I might try to get down for a game or two.
You know you are.
Well, I didn't make it last year.
Maybe you're the reason why we did so bad.
Maybe it might be a lit tube trip.
I might have to go road trips. Yeah, it works out. We'll see.
I'll meet y'all down. You can pick me up in Tampa.
All right, so we will continue this week in Baltimore history. There are other sports in Baltimore, obviously. We'll start on February 2nd, 1976. Bob Bogle, 34, a former All-Pro tackle for the Colts, is appointed as civil defense director of Baltimore County by Maryland Governor Marvin Mandel, a job that paid only $21,400. I guess back then that was a lot of money.
Hey.
Like you went from football to that? Wow.
Hey. The benefits are good.
Hey, he's got that county benefits.
Sweet benefit money. So on January 28th, 1972, despite shooting a torrid 61%, that is awful, from the field, the Royals fell to the Bullets 132 to 124, somehow only shooting 61%, in an NBA game in Cincinnati, which I didn't know that happened. Jack Martin, 38 points, and Archie Clark, 28, led Baltimore to its 11th win in 15 games.
Bring Baltimore basketball back. Just do it. Screw the Wizards, man. But we need to probably rebuild.
Royal Farms Arena.
Tear that bitch down.
Let's not get into that.
Build it back up. Let's go.
So we're gonna go. We're going way back on the way back.
Way back.
So January 28th, 1923, George the Knockout King Chaney. I mean, that just sounds like a good name.
It sounds like a badass name.
Of East Baltimore, floors Frankie Rice with a lightning left hook in the first round of their bout before more than 8,500 people at the 4th Regiment Armory. Man, they know how to party back then.
8,500 people. Jesus.
Chaney was 140, 34, and 6, and he was enshrined in the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2014.
That's dope.
All I'm gonna say is, why did it take 100 years from this fight to get him in the Boxing Hall of Fame?
At what point they're like, what? They're selling out armories. No, this guy isn't worth it.
Running out of people to put in the Hall of Fame.
What is their layover time? You know how football you gotta be out like for 5 years or something. It's like, nah, dude, you gotta be out like 100 years. I'm like, what? No, but that does it for our episode of Charm City Beat. It is Super Bowl week, so we're excited to root on the Rams here. I think it's obvious.
America versus the Patriots.
Yes. That sounds weird when you say it outright like that.
Except if you're in New Orleans, probably.
Except if you're in New Orleans. But whether you're watching on thisislit2.com or you're watching on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned for other video this week. Take care.